All right, let's get right into it. We have an absolutely packed schedule of European basketball this week. Everything from super important league games to these intense knockout cup competitions. So let's break down all the key angles and see if we can find some of the best opportunities out there. And before we dive in, we just want to give a quick shout out to our partners MyStake and Vadada for making all of this analysis possible. You can find some great links with special bonuses from them down in the description, so be sure to check those out. Okay, so you ready for today's tips? Let's get to it. First stop on our tour today is the German League. We've got our eyes on 5 games here, and believe me, there are some really compelling angles to look at. So looking at Germany, a few things really jump off the page. First, you know that new coach effect? Well, it is so real for Braunschweig. Their defense has tightened up in a big way, which makes getting 8.5 points feel pretty generous. Next up, Rostock's home court advantage is no joke. It's one of the toughest in the league, and honestly, they're just the better team than Bamberg. Now, the Ulm and Oldenburg game. This one's fascinating. Oldenburg's been playing great for sure, but Ulm desperately needs this win for their playoff hopes. We're betting on that desperation at home. Then you've got Bonn and Vechta. Oh man, just get your popcorn ready. These two teams love to run and gun, so we're all over the over here. And finally, for Chemnitz and Heidelberg, both teams are missing their main scorers. So what does that usually mean? Yep, a slower, more deliberate, grinded-out game. The under is the play.
Okay, let's hop over to Lithuania and Spain. For these games, it's all about looking at the bigger picture. You know, team priorities and scheduling are going to play a huge role.
In Lithuania, this is just a classic scheduling spot. The Lietkabelis is finally done with that Eurocup grind. All their energy, all their focus, it's right here on their domestic league. That is a massive advantage. On the flip side, you have Zalgiris, who have much bigger fish to fry with the cup and huge EuroLeague games coming up. You gotta expect them to rest some key guys, which almost always leads to a lower scoring affair. And then we pop down to Spain, where Gran Canaria's defense, especially at home, is really starting to lock teams down. And Bilbao, well, they've always had trouble scoring on the road. So for Gran Canaria to just have to cover a small 3.5-point spread, that looks pretty good to us. All right, now we're heading into the real pressure cooker, the cup competitions in Serbia and Greece. These are win or go home games, where, as you know, absolutely anything can happen. In these knockout games, context is absolutely everything. Let's start in Serbia. Zlatibor is red hot right now, and playing on a neutral court gives them a fantastic shot to keep this one close against Spartak. For Crevens Zvezda, just look at the roster they brought to the tournament. It's packed with shooters. Their game plan is pretty clear. Run and gun. That makes the over really attractive. Now, in Greece, we have Heracles and Mykonos, two teams that have been, well, anemic on offense lately. In a tense cup game, points are going to be at a premium. And finally, the Panathinaikos game. This is a perfect example of why you have to look beyond the big names. Yeah, they're a powerhouse, but there are reports of some internal friction which could make them vulnerable. Pioka always plays them tough, and getting 16.5 points in a spot like this, wow, that's just too good to pass up. Okay, for our final stops, we're looking at the cup competitions in Italy and Turkey. And we've got a key piece of news here that changes everything for one of these matchups. And here it is. This is huge. For the Italian Cup, Brescia is going to be without their floor general, Nikola Ivanovic. He is the guy that makes their entire offense tick. Losing him is a massive, massive blow. So think about it. You take that key injury to Ivanovic, and you combine it with the fact that Brescia is already one of the slowest-paced teams in the league? Yeah, scoring is going to be a real challenge for them against Udine. We absolutely love the under here. Then you have the complete opposite with Milano and Trieste. They play at 1,000 miles an hour, and let's be real, defense isn't exactly their top priority. The over is the only way to go there. Over in Turkey, it's a tale of two teams on completely different tracks. Besiktas is just on fire, playing their best basketball of the season. Tofas, on the other hand, oof, they're in a total freefall with just 2 wins in their last 10. You gotta ride the hot hand with Besiktas. And finally, Anadolu Efes. They're coming in with all that momentum from the EuroLeague, and you know they're motivated to win the Turkish Cup. We expect their sheer class to shine through. And that is a wrap on our breakdown for this week's games. I just want to say a huge thank you once again to our partners, MyStake and Vadada, for supporting our analysis. Hey, if you found this valuable, do us a huge favor and be sure to follow the channel and hit that like button. It really helps us out a ton and lets us know you want more of this stuff. And always remember the key takeaway from all of this. The sharpest bettors don't guess, they analyze. Stay sharp out there, and we'll see you on the next one.